Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and wait just a minute to make sure everyone gets online. We're here for our webinar for our new customer portal, as well as the 11.1 updates that we recently released. On the line with us today, we have myself, Heather McGrath. I'm the marketing director at IndySoft. We also have Charles Thompson, our resident polymath, meaning he wears many hats for us, as well as Nick Bates, our head trainer. Okay, today's agenda, we're first going to go over our new portal. Charles is going to handle that part. Then he will hand it over to Nick, who will go over the actual client updates with 11.1. We do have a lot more updates that we made than we're going to show today. So if you'd like to visit the release notes to see everything that was updated, that might be beneficial to you. We received a lot of feedback from all of you, and one item that was requested a lot was a most recently used recall system for our work orders. So we have added that. We've also added a purchase order system, which allows you to manage purchase orders right from within IndySoft. We've added some new gauge fields in our event finder. We've also added the ability to add and edit some user-defined fields in read-only. And at the end, we're going to follow up with a Q&A. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and type them in the GoToWebinar question panel, and we can manage those as they come in, and we'll get to those all at the end. Okay, with that, I'm going to hand it over to Charles, and he will show you our new web portal. This is going to be our replacement for My.IndySoft. So if you are a current My.IndySoft user, that is going away, and this is going to be our new portal replacement for that. All right, well, I hope you all enjoy. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone for their time today. My name is Charles, and I'm going to be walking you through the new IndySoft customer portal. Now, if you're an existing customer, you're used to going to my.indysoft.com. If you go there today, you're going to find that there is a banner telling you to go to www.indysoft.com to access the new portal. So if you're an existing customer, you can continue to use this portal for a short time. We will be shutting it down as soon as a large majority of our customers have migrated their accounts over. But you can, again, continue to log in here, but we encourage you to go ahead and jump onto the newest thing. Of course, new customers, just go to www.indysoft.com instead of the my.indysoft.com website. Now, once you're on the main page, you'll see over on the far right that we have a login button. That used to take you to the my.indysoft.com site. Now, it takes you straight to the new login screen. Now, this login screen is set up to help you set up your account the first time when you go and log in. Basically, what you're going to want to do is enter your email address and your customer number, and we're going to walk you through a series of steps. If you do not know your customer number, or after you've gone through the setup process, if you've forgotten your password, you'll want to use the Forgot Credentials option on the site. If you enter just your email address and click send, it will email you your customer number as a reminder. If you know your customer number but you've forgotten your password, enter your email address, customer number, hit send, and we'll reset your account and let you walk through the setup process again to add another password in that you can remember. So on the first visit, you're going to click login. You are going to want to enter your email address and your IndySoft supplied customer number and click login. It's going to come back and say that, we have a new security system in place. You need to add a password. And of course, this is just like any other site. We're going to ask you for that big mess of upper lowercase numbers and symbols, but we've tried to make it easy for you. There's a little indicator that pops up in the password form, and as you type, it will tick off the qualifications for you. So we have everything that we need here except for the second password. And the second drop-down list there shows you all the qualifications. Everything matches, so we're now going to set the password. It comes back and it says that our account is now upgraded, but it has sent us an email that we're going to need to confirm. When I'll go over to my email, you can see the email is here. I simply click Confirm Account. It will bring me back to the website and bring up the login form. At this point, I can just log in with my email address and that secure password that I just created. After login, the portal appears as a ribbon under the main menu bar. From left to right, you're going to see your company name and customer number. There's an indicator for your current support status. It will show you the date that it expires, green if everything's fine, yellow as it approaches expiration, and then red if it has expired. The support and services section of the site we'll get into in just a moment. The next item is your service hours. You can now interface your service hours online. You can see how those hours have been spent and what they've been spent on. You also can purchase additional hours right inside the same website. You just enter the number of hours, a note, click Next, a secure form will come up for a credit card payment, and it will add those hours to your account automatically. After that, we get into your purchase software. Starting from left to right in the software panel, we can see your software, tier, and platform information, what version you have installed, and what the latest shipping version is. There are a couple of indicators here. Not allocated means that you have this product, but you have not put it into production or a licensed environment yet. If there is a number, that reflects the current version that you have installed in your environment, and you can update that now. So basically for this 3-tier multi-user Oracle system, I can come in and state that, well, listen, we upgraded, we are on 11.045, and now the system will reflect that. And this information is available to support, so they won't need to ask you as long as you keep this information updated. And we will be working on some features to automatically update that for you through your registration efforts and through the registration utility as well. You can view your release notes. Simply click a button and it's going to bring up the latest change list for that product. You can do a gap analysis by selecting your installed version and then any other future version, and it will bring back the entire change list for everything that happened between those two versions. Now if I go back to the current change list, you might have noticed the little play icons here. We have started releasing videos with the change list, and they're just small snippets to explain what some of these items are and how they affect the software and things like that. So your change lists are now going to become a little more interactive. They're going to become a little more educational with some visuals to go along with the text. After the version information release notes, you can see that we have download links, and obviously this is where you get your executables, your SQL scripts, your CAB files, INFs, and things like that. And everything's nested together. So for instance, with your clients, you're going to be able to find your setup scripts, your installers, and your update files as well, all in one place. And if you're looking for documentation, that's actually been moved under our support menu on the main site or under the resources, or just go to IndySoft.com/documentation. And we're actually going to be expanding that even more moving forward. The final column in the purchase software panel is your licensing information. You can see how many purchases. The last column in the purchased interface software contains your licensing information. You can see how many licenses you have purchased for each product, how many have been allocated into a licensing environment, and how many are remaining in the licensing pool. If you are a customer that has multiple license environments, another button will appear beside the software panel button to let you review all of the software products that are distributed across your licensing environments, and you can also update the installed versions on a per environment/product basis. The last option would be the portal settings. Basically, this shows your email address, your phone number, and gives you the ability to change your password. We will be exposing functionality for you to update this personal information later, but as usual, for now, please let us know when their contact changes. We like to go ahead and make sure it's done properly across all systems, and as soon as we get that into an automated fashion, you can just change everything right here. Don't even have to ask us anymore. And of course, the last option here is to log out, which takes you right out of the browser interface itself and just leaves you on the web page. Now up next is the Support and Services portal, and this is a new thing for our customers, and we're really excited about it. Once you've logged in, you simply click the button, and a secondary window appears with the dashboard view of that portal. The dashboard view gives you an overall indication of everything that's going on between our two companies. You can see your active support cases, any tasks that are pending for us or for you on any number of things, and then active projects, things like your database migrations, if you have a large-scale event configuration, anything like that. Those are actually tracked as projects. You can go in and see the status of things, make notes, download your files, all that kind of stuff. For the projects themselves, you have a projects view, and again, this could be for data migration events, and it just gives you an overall snapshot of everything that's going on with those projects, and you can click to drill down into that detail. Tasks, simply a to-do list and the progress of each of those items. Support, you'll get a view of all of your support cases, the current status, open, close dates, who it's assigned to. You can also create new support cases or drill down into the case and review past contents, download any attachments, anything like that. You can still send in emails or call into support. This is just another interface to the end result of those calls and emails where everything lands and all the answers end up. The next section is forms, and there's just a singular form in here right now, but this will expand over time to include some forms for you to be able to request additional licenses, for you to request a quote for training times. You'll be able to pick some date ranges that you think would work for you. It just kind of helps you speedily get information to us and us to get back to you as quickly as humanly possible. And if there's anything you find yourself doing on a continual basis with IndySoft you think a form would support, please let us know. We'd like to hear about that. The last item in the portal is the knowledge base. And now this is not a product knowledge base. The product knowledge base is actually going to be moving to our documentation section online. This is for our business-to-business operations. We get a lot of questions from everybody from purchasing agents to just about anybody else. You know, what's the best way to send in a support ticket? How do I order additional licenses? What's your quality process like? Do you meet these quality standards? You know, any of those questions are going to end up with answers in this portal. So if you have any questions or if there's something missing that you need more information on, please reach out to support. They will escalate it over to the portal group, and we'll make sure that we get it in there for you. The only other thing to point out on this portal is that you'll find that you can log out, which is fine. You also can go into My Account Settings. Now, you don't want to change anything on this screen right now, and the reason is we don't have the change that you would make here fully tied into the other systems yet. So we ask that you don't make any changes here. Just ask us to make any kind of contact changes for you until we get that part of the system completed. And that concludes the coverage of our portal today. I hope you found this informative, and if you have any questions, obviously reach out to support. That's what they're here for. At this point, I think I'm going to turn everything over to Nick Bates for information on the latest release of 11. Thank you, everybody.
All right, what's new in version 11.1? So let me go ahead and log into the software. And the first item that we are going to talk about today is our new vendor PO system. You'll go into your pending work tab, right? Select vendor PO, and you can see that I have many purchase orders open right now in a different status, incomplete or requested. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a new PO. So you hit this little document button right here. It will auto-populate your next PO number. And if you would like to control what that number starts with, adding a prefix or anything like that, it's in Profile Manager. Coming into Company, you can select the company, you can select the vendor, and then we can select who we're going to ship this to. Right. We have a ship via, a PO date. It will auto-populate your billing info and the shipping info. And then down here we can add whatever part you would like to the PO. So we will select ABC Company. And I'm going to select this battery for a voltmeter. It's going to be $3. Then we're going to add another line item here. And we will select the cable for the voltmeter, $7.50. And then that will go ahead and tally the total purchase order. Up here in the top left corner, we have the status that you can change it to. So whether it's received or sent out to be requested, we can change that status. And then the second icon allows you to print the PO, or you can send it to the screen and save it, or you can go ahead and email it directly to the customer. Okay. If I go ahead and show this one to screen, we will go ahead and make sure that it's requested and just give it a second to go ahead and create that document for us. While we are waiting on that, we will go ahead and hit OK. It added that line item to my list here. And if you need to exclude any specific status, you can always check that here. And then we also have the branch as well that you can toggle between. All right. And so this is going to be your purchased order and the way that it looks out of the box, but we can always edit this form in Print Builder. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that now. So we go to Home, Print Builder, and we've now added a purchase order section. So you just double click on Standard, and now we can edit this and tailor it to you, add your logo, and change any fields that you would like. Closing out of this, we've added a most recently used button on your work orders. So as you guys are going through different work orders and selecting them, and maybe you guys don't remember what the last one was, or you just want to see the last few that you used, we have this recent orders button. You click on that and it will show you the last, I believe, up to 10 that you have touched. All right. Next up, we're going to go into Event Finder. We've added some new gauge fields for you guys there, just to help you guys search for items and whatnot. So let's go ahead and look at a calibration event. And I have 23 records there. So we're going to bring down all those events there and click in the upper left-hand corner. These are all the fields that you can now turn on. So we're going to uncheck a couple of these, and you will notice that we have model number, manufacturer, type, subtype, description. So we've added some more equipment level fields in here for you. Department. All right. And now you can see that just within the event itself, we have this description, this type, this subtype, manufacturer, and model field. All right. Of course, you can always double click on this asset and it will take you to the equipment on the equipment view. do that one more time. There you go. Next up, what we're going to be going over is a system-wide edition. So you go to your home view, you go down to preferences, we go to system-wide, and you'll notice that we have a new checkbox right here. So before, all we had was the auto logout after a certain amount of time. Well, that would still potentially hold up a license. So now what we do is we release that license after a certain amount of time so they can free it up for the next user. Of course, you can always manually log out a user, but this will just automatically free up that license for you. All right. Now the next aspect is for our read-only customers. And so within read-only, we were editing fields through events. Well, now you'll be able to edit them through just quick field attributes. So we go into Add Edit, Company. All right. We can now go to a specific company, and we go up here to Extended Attributes. When we click on this, you can see that I've added an attribute called Section. If we double click on this, there's a little checkbox down here called Read Only Client. So you can now create as many fields as you would like per company that are only accessible to read-only clients. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that as a read-only customer. So let's log out of the software. Type in customer. All right, and so we go to Equipment View, Attributes, and you can see that we now have a section here. I have lab value in here, and you can change this value to whatever you would like. This concludes our webinar for today. We will now be fielding any questions that you may have. And before we field questions, we're going to go ahead and put up a poll for you. If you guys could just answer that, then we will go ahead and tackle all your questions that we can get to. If your questions are very specific to you, we will reach out to you individually to field those questions. Thank you.
And for our final poll question, now that you've seen a little bit of 11.1, we are just curious to know what your plans for upgrading are. If you've already upgraded, great, we're excited about that. Or if you plan to in the near future, or if you're really unsure when that's going to be, just let us know. All right, here are the results of our poll. It looks like a lot of you are still on version 10. We have some that have already updated, which is wonderful, and then some who have no idea. So that's where everyone stands right now. While we have an extra minute here, I did want to take a moment to let you all know some very exciting news for us here at IndySoft. We are opening a new training center, actually tomorrow, in Charleston, South Carolina. For those of you who aren't familiar with Charleston, it has been named the best travel destination in the United States for the past 5 consecutive years by Travel and Leisure magazine. So it is a wonderful, wonderful place to visit. If you need any training done and would like an excuse to come to Charleston, now here is your perfect opportunity. We are scheduling for trainings in Charleston already, and so if you would like to come see us, we would be happy to show you around town.
All right, we will now begin to field some questions that have come in. The first question is, are pending work POs for sending customer equipment to outside vendors? Yes, of course, that is the purpose of the new PO system. Let's see, next question is, can I close support cases or do I notify IndySoft to close an open support case? All right, so this is in regards to the portal, and yes, you will have to send us a message in order to close any open cases. You are unable to close a case through the portal. All right, taking a look at some other ones. Can we register multiple personnel under the same IndySoft customer number? Absolutely, you can have multiple individuals access the website. They just have to be approved through you and added through us. All right. Next one is, does the event equipment finder have increased capabilities in this version? As we did show you, Equipment Finder does have some added equipment gauge fields, so you will be able to take a look at additional gauge fields within that Event Finder, as well as once you have an asset, if you double click on that asset, it will take you to that asset on Equipment View. All right, and will a copy of this webinar be available later? Absolutely. We will be sending out to all registered attendees tomorrow, and that will be available on the IndySoft YouTube channel as well. All right, and thank you guys for joining. If we were unable to answer your question, we will be sending out emails to those of you who had specific questions. Thank you and have a great day.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us today. We appreciate you taking this 30 minutes out of your day and to learn about our new offerings. We do have a poll at the end of the webinar. Please respond to that so we can tell how we're doing and if there's anything we can do to improve in the next webinar we do. Also, as a reminder, we are going to have a recording of this on our YouTube channel after the fact, and we'll send out a link to everyone that was registered. All right, thanks again, everyone.